talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
All right, let's see. We got caller 2. Yellow. JH here.
Hey Jay, how you doing?
What's going on, sir?
Hey man, thanks a lot for giving a voice to the voiceless,
Hey.
shining a light on these dark times, brother.
Yeah,
Much appreciated.
Speak your piece, brother. Speak your This
Yeah,
is your
so
world.
hey, just I wanted to make a comment. That letter seems pretty legit to me. I mean, you know, just the way the wording of it, whoever wrote that has a pretty decent vocabulary. Kind of seems like management would have wrote that. You know what I mean? For somebody to just make that up, you know, they'd have to be a pretty decent writer, let's say, you know what I mean? And like the last time that the stuff was leaked about that contract, it ended up being true. And,
Yes.
you know, that looks legit to me. And what was really troubling about it was what I thought was the expansion of the non-career workforce. You know, it's like, what the hell? Like they want to turn us into Amazon, you know what I mean? And it's just a drag, man. It's
bunch of non-career people.
Yeah. So, and you know, it's really gone out the window. And I've heard maybe mentioned, you know, like the union was established on the idea of the 8, 8, and 8. You know, like the idea of 8 hours of work, 8 hours of rest, and 8 hours of recreation, and that shit's out the window. I don't know who gets that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, man, you know, we're out here, you know, regulars are getting mandated. CCAs don't know what an 8-hour day is even like, don't know when your off day is going to be. It's just, it's rough. And I think what, you know, people they get addicted to the overtime because it's a necessity. You know, it's like we need the overtime to not struggle to get by right now. But then the management kind of just includes that in the overhead, like, you know, they don't want us getting all that overtime, but they know the job necessitates it to a point because they don't hire enough people. But at some point, it's like they're just making it a job where it's normal to work 50, 60 hours a week now, and the 8, 8, and 8 things out the window. You know, people aren't getting enough time to spend with their family. You know, we're just getting worked over, and it's wild. You know, it's like this used to be kind of a status type job, and I don't see it as that really at all. It's like, you welcome to the meat grinder, you know. And,
you know the thing is that we could bring this back. We could bring it back to something good. And when people speak on here, they shouldn't be afraid that, you know, management is watching, because at the end of the day, everybody just wants a humane place to work, and they want to bring it back to, and they want to make a living, you know, have respect, work at a place and make a living. And it should not offend anyone that people want to come to work at one of the hardest places to work, make a fair wage, which is the reason that they got a union, and make a living. It's nonsensical for anybody to think otherwise. But being that you're on there, got a question for you. You ready for it?
Yeah, you got it.
In your opinion, how could members hold leadership accountable if they feel misled or ignored? Because right now, your leader said, no, that document is fake. He can talk about anything. When it comes down to it, he'll get out there and try to get ahead of something. But in this situation, how do you hold them accountable if you find out that it was real?
well, it doesn't even matter if it was real or not. The accountability's got to come either by getting him out before the next election or making sure he's out on this next election in 2026. But if some charges can come up and we can get him out, great, you know. But that's another thing I wanted to mention to you is, you know, I like the stuff that James Henry has to say, and I really dig Mike Cariff. I'm a Midwest guy, so you know I like him and stuff. But I tell you
Minnesota,
what,
Minnesota.
you know, no, Michigan, but you know
Okay, the
what,
other end.
yeah, exactly. What I'm worried about is now the vote's going to get split three ways. You know, we got two people running against Cariff now, and it's like, man, you know, you dilute it down just enough where all of a sudden, what if 34% votes Cariff back in, and then you know the union just shot themselves in the foot because they got two people running against them. You know, we need to kind of consolidate to one person against him to make sure he's gone in 2 years, if not before. I mean, I don't know enough about it to know how to get him out, you know, before then. But man, 2026, we need to back one candidate, and I'm worried about this, like two people running against him. I'm not sure if it's not like running for president where it's like Democrat versus Republican. By the sounds of it, sounds like a couple people can run at once. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just worried about it getting kind of you know, split three ways, and then we just shoot ourselves in the foot because he just squeaks his way in with the old guard again. You know what I mean? He got in there somehow in the first place, so he's got some support. You know, it's just you don't hear it on social media too much, but he's got support. So
Well, he
I
kind of
don't know.
actually just waved himself in there from the last one that you had there. Another one had to step down, or there's a backstory to it. So nobody really
Okay.
voted him in.
He didn't get voted in. Yeah, I haven't been around
No,
long enough, so pardon my ignorance there. But
no,
you
no,
know,
that's fine. I
um,
learn as well, brother. I learn as well. But
yeah,
here's the thing, you know, and a lot of them watch me. So my question would be to Cariff and Henry, if you all really want the will of the people, there's a lot of people. And there's a lot of people that like Henry. There's a lot of people that like Cariff. And if you really know, just like the point you just made was excellent, that the vote would have to get split three ways. Would they be
yeah, it's
willing
tough, man.
to walk together and come talk to people across the country, because you know they have the option eventually, talk to people together across the country, listen to what the needs are, and somehow
Yeah.
come to a mutual agreement amongst themselves so that you're not pitting carriers against each
Hey,
other saying, no man,
yeah,
F
Jay, just
Cariff
make a
or
point of
F
that. If you
Henry.
can do that for us, man, because you got a voice for us, you know, you're going to talk to those guys before I do. So if you can bring that up sometime, jot that down on your notepad and just say, is
Mhm.
this kind of making us weaker, you know, by having two guys go against him? Because what, you know, can you take one for the team here and step back or be run as the vice president? I don't care who's who, you know, but you know, we need to be strong against him, not divided, you know,
Well,
right? You know, I don't know.
somebody reached out to Mr. Henry for me, so he did say
Yeah,
he was ready to come and talk. So we will see. Like I
but
said, I won't do another live for a couple weeks, but when I do come back,
yeah.
I don't know how you know, they might be caught up in this whole negotiating thing. So I got to kind of be on their time. I'm on their time.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely. Yeah.
Cariff mentioned Friday, so we'll see. You know, if Henry
Right
can come
on.
and talk to me before then we'll see. But I definitely want to. I want some type of uniformity. And again, I'm
Yeah,
nobody.
man.
I got a voice, but I'm really nobody. I'm not part of your
Yeah,
union.
but
People are like, who is this guy?
yeah,
Um, but it only makes sense. And unfortunately, with the post office, if
yeah,
it makes sense, they turn a blind eye
right.
to it.
I tell you what, one more point I just want to hammer down is you know, I look at the two pay tables and the way that the pay scale works, you know, and
Mhm.
how it's kind of, you know, boy, there's a lot of money difference in a career, you know, over a 10, 15 year, you know, period. There's a lot of money different, a lot less money for table two people. I think table two killed killed the letter carrier craft, and we need a union that's going to fight to get everybody back to that table 1 pay scale. You know what? You can keep frickin' CCAs for 2 years, as far as I care, if we can get that table 1 money. Man, that's the job that people wanted, you know. And this restructuring that they did in 2013 because of whatever, the 2008 financial crisis and this and that, USPS is the only company that hasn't figured it out and gave their employees back the money that they earned. You know, General Motors went through this, the whole auto industry went through it. A lot of businesses went through that, had to restructure the pay scales, but then they turned it back around. And we're the slowest one. And, you know, we got to get rid of this 2-table bullshit. You look at those 2 pay tables next to each other, there's got to be over $100,000 difference over the course of 10, 15 years. I think probably close to 150,000. I need to do the math, but I sit there and look at them, and it's like the starting pay for a letter carrier is $12,000 difference between the 2 pay tables. And the one is just kind of like, you know, $1,000, maybe $700 a year added on as you work up your way, whereas the table 2 is just low, and then it finally starts to scoop its way up, and that just killed it, man. It killed it. Imagine all that money over the course of a career difference and how that changes your life. That puts you in a different class. You're barely middle class anymore with that, and it makes you need the overtime. You need the overtime. They got us in their pocket, man. Why would they change? They got us right where they need us, you know. So we need a union to fight for that stuff, and we need them to fight, you know, hard. You know, that needs to be like a non-negotiable. You know, this is what we need. You know, you know, build this business from the letter carriers up. You know, and anyways, yeah. Well, that's all I got for all that. So.
But trust me, I'm gonna break this this live up into little sections, and I'm gonna you know, put all the points up there in smaller videos, and I'll send this stuff to Karif and Mike. Everybody's points. Like I said, you call in. I'm a clip these segments. I'm gonna repost them, and I'm gonna send them to them. Let them know what the people want. Let the people what the people hear. Yeah, you know, because it's your voice. Again, I wasn't trying to be funny, but you know, again, I have a platform. I really they look at me weird when I start talking about it. And the only connection that I have to this is because nephew, daughter, sister, son are carriers. You know, they're carriers, but they're like, oh, he don't carry mail. He don't know. Well, yeah, I've heard all the shit from my own people. And, y'all are the backbone. But I think I have somebody waiting in the lobby. Listen, I appreciate you calling in. And
thanks for everything.
I'm gonna cut these little clips up, and you probably hear your voice in one of my next videos. All right.
Keep doing your thing. Take care, buddy. Thank you.
All right. Be safe, brother.